What is going on, guys? Fitcho here, and welcome back to my MotoGP 17 career mode today. We're here for episode number 15 and round 14 of the Moto3 World Championship, and today we're heading to Aragon, and we're getting towards the business end of the season. If we just go over to my career for a second, you can see in the championship, I'm in first place with 249 points. And if we get the full table up, you can see we have a 57-point lead with 5 races to go. So, assuming we don't have any big cock-ups at the end of the season, things don't go drastically wrong for us, the title is pretty much in the bag, but we still need to keep our head down and keep pushing because we currently have 200,000 reputation. But at the end of this season, after these next 5 races, I want to ideally have 300,000 reputation so I can get the ride I want for next season in Moto2. Here we go, onto the main straight, about to start our first flying lap here in qualifying for this Spanish Grand Prix as we are hard on the brakes. We're going a little bit deep down into turn number 1, and that is not a good start to our lap as now we head through this long right hand. You can just about hold it flat as Mir is weaving all across the track, and that almost cost us there. So close to having another collision. Flashbacks of qualifying in the Czech Republic for Bruno there as we go very, very wide as we head into that tight left-hander. It just gets tighter and tighter, and we just ran a little bit wide at the final stage of the braking, and we are half a second down on this lap already. It's not been a good start as we head through that 90 degrees right-hander, and again, it is getting very, very scrappy. This is my first lap of this track in quite a while, so with a few more practice laps after I shut up and finish this one, I should be able to get up to speed quite quickly. And this is actually the second time we've been to Aragon in this series. And that chicane I just went through a moment ago, I remember, when we're in the Red Bull Rookies Cup here, that caused us a lot of strife. We got into trouble there a few times. We've got another bike there alongside, so we are now onto the brakes. That is Mir, in fact, one of our championship rivals. I believe he's dropped down to 3rd place behind Niccolo Bulliga now as we head through this right-hander, sort of over a bit of a crest in the middle of the corner as Mir. Far out, he came very, very close to hitting me there as now we head down to this tricky and very, very important left-hander there because that sets up the run all the way down this long straight, and you can just see how long it is as we now head down to the final corner. Make sure Mir doesn't get any sort of slipstream, but I think he did come out of the pit, so we don't have to worry about him setting a good lap time and getting a bit of a tow. As now we jump onto the brakes for the final corner. It's a very long corner, sort of a parabolic sort of shape to it, but then there's a little tight bit there on the end as we're getting a bit argy-bargy with Mir here in qualifying. We're coming up to the line. It has not been a good lap, and it is 1.2 seconds off the pace. It was a 2-minute dead. 0.6, sorry, I'm reading the fastest lap. It was a 2:01.6 my lap, and the fastest lap is a 2 dead 0.4. So that is our target, and we've already stuffed this lap. But I'll go again, and hopefully we can improve that time as someone there is down. That is Romano Fernando. Not too sure what's happened to him. Come on, it's been a good lap so far. Another faster split, 9/10 up, and we have a slipstream down this back straight. This is perfect. We're already P1, but only by the smallest of margins, and we are a long way up on this lap as we get a massive tow down the back straight. Now we have one corner to navigate. That is very deep. I have gone. We can cut this back and hopefully get a good exit onto the pit straight. Run it a little bit wide. It's a scrappy end to the lap. Back in the slipstream of this bike in front of us. Is it going to be enough for P1? Yes, it is. 1.1 seconds up on the previous best time, a 1:59.3. And I don't think that lap is going to be beaten. Let's just return to the pit box. Now, it was a bit scrappy at the end, but the first 3 sectors were pretty perfect. I couldn't have done much better on that lap, I think. That was quite a nice lap, especially with that tow. I just need to hold it a bit tighter through that final corner. I just broke a little bit too late, but regardless, I think that should be enough to secure us yet another pole position. So we have a look at how things are standing with 25 minutes to go. We have over 1 second in our bag. Back to Mir in 2nd place. So let's just skip through some time. Jump forward. They've improved a little bit. Time is coming down, but nowhere near enough. And we get pole position. Fernando has actually jumped up into 2nd place. So there we go, the official qualifying results. And it is yet another pole position for us with a 1:59.3 over 1 second quicker than the next closest rider, which was Romano Fernando in second. And alongside me and Fernando on the front row of the grid is Joan Mir in third. Then you got Canet, Jorge Martin, and Nicolo Bulliger lining up on the second row of the grid with John McPhee, DJ Antonio, and Mino on the third. It's race day here in Spain for the Aragon Grand Prix, of course, here at Aragon. 28 degrees Celsius with a 41 degree track temperature, so very, very similar conditions to yesterday's qualifying session where we were very, very fast. And of course, we're going to be starting this race from pole position, the best place to be starting. Can we go out and get yet another victory here in Moto3 and extend our championship lead even further, or is someone going to fight back?
After a long weekend of preparation, the race is about to start. You could cut the tension with a knife. But all that matters now is who gets across that line first.
Here we go. It is race time here at Aragon as we get the bike into first gear. The revs rise. The lights come on. As lights out, and away we go for the Aragon Grand Prix, and we get what I think has been a decent start. Mir has yet again got a brilliant start from third place as we head down into turn number 1. I've gone deep, like I always do, and Mir and Fernando have snuck up our insides now through this fast right-hander. We trying to go around the outside of Fernando, and that has opened the door for Bulliger as we have yet another fast right-hander as Canet is now sneaking up our inside. It has not been a good start to this Grand Prix, dropping all the way down to 5th place. We're going to get back onto the podium though as we dive up the inside of Canet and Bulliger, and now we're on the back of Romano Fernando. Can we now sneak up his inside into this right-hander? Yes, we can. Actually, we're going to dive up the inside of Mir as well while we're at it, but we've run it a little bit too deep into there, and Fernando has actually jumped up into the lead of the Grand Prix as now Mir is in our sights. And this is where we came unstuck last season in the Red Bull Rookies Cup, and we almost do the exact same thing, just going way too hot into that very tight and tricky chicane, almost hitting Mir off his bike. But can we sneak up the inside of the Spaniard there? No, we can't. We are not quite close enough. We've just got to be patient. We have 10 laps here in Aragon. We have heaps of time. If this goes like most Moto3 races, as long as we're in it, coming out of these few corners, we have a chance to win the Grand Prix as we head up the hill through that tricky right-hander as both the top two run it a little bit wide. And this is the corner I am talking about, this left-hander. If you're in the top 5 or something coming off here on the last lap, you're still in a chance of winning as long as you're in that lead pack. And while I was saying that, we made a move on our championship rival Mir, and we move ourselves into second place in the slipstream of Romano Fernando as we are closing on him. Can we try it up the inside of him into the final corner? Yes, we can. Hard on the brakes, so I've gone too deep. Yet again, the same mistake that I made in qualifying as Mir comes to give us a little bit of a push. We had to pick the bike up a little bit, and now we've run wide through the final corner, and we've just dropped down the field so quickly, all the way down to 6th place, just like that, as Bulliger and a few other riders snuck through. I didn't get to catch all their names. I think that is Jorge Martin and Mino up ahead, all sneaking through. So just like that, we've been shuffled back down the pack as someone is trying to get up our inside. I think that could be Canet, but I'm not 100% sure as we run it a little bit wide. A scrappy start here in Aragon. Is he going to go for it up the inside of this left-hander? No, we go very deep under the brakes, and he has no chance at all. Here we go, down to this very tricky chicane. Can we get through here on yet another lap? Very close to Bulliger, and we actually dive up the inside of the Italian just like that and back into the top 5 as there is a 4-way fight directly in front of us. Really, it's like it's a huge battle pack still. There's lots of bikes behind me. I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but there is definitely a very close battle for 4th. I'm for the lead, a 4-way battle for the lead. I am forgetting how to talk here, but I'm just a little bit off the back of him right now. But through these series of corners, we should be able to catch up, and hopefully down the back straight, we have a great opportunity to slipstream all these guys, as all 4 of them run wide at that same corner. They all seem to like to run wide there as now. Onto the back straight we go. We sneak up the inside of Mir with a nice switchback line through the left-hander. Now in the slipstream of Jorge Martin. Can we pull to the inside? Yes, we can. And we've got to run. No, but I've clipped the back of Mino as now we get past Fernando. And that's cost myself a little bit of momentum. But we're going to now slip up the inside of Mino into the final corner. And we take the lead of this Aragon Grand Prix at the end of lap number 2 of 10, but we're now back onto the pit straight, and here comes I think that is Mino as we head down towards turn number 1. He's got the inside line, and I'm not confident on the brakes down here as Fernando gives Mino a little bit of a push, but he couldn't follow him through, and we hold on to second place for now, but Fernando is still right there. We could just see the front of his bike on the side of our screen, but he can't make anything work there. But coming through this left-hander, this is a heavy braking zone, and there is definitely the option to dive bomb as we do that on Mino and back into the lead of this Grand Prix. Oh, we're running it a little bit wide. I've got the line through there all wrong, and that is going to give the trailing pack an opportunity to get past us. Mino is just there. We can see the proximity arrows were hard onto the brakes for this tight left-hander, and he's not close enough to try it up our inside there. Is now through this right-hander. This is where they all seem to run it a little bit wide. They all seem to go in a little bit hot, and judging by that proximity arrow, I think they have all done it yet again. But now through this left-hander and onto the back straight we go for the third time in this Grand Prix, and we have Mino directly behind us, and it looks like the two of us have made a little bit of a break from the rest of the pack. We're not that far ahead, but there is a little bit of a gap. There's a bit of a break happening, and we just need to put our heads down and try to pull that margin out. Mino, however, might come with us, but right now we don't want to battle him too hard. We just want to pull away with him. As looking back again and looking at the minimap, there is definitely a gap forming between second and third place as we end lap number 3 of this Grand Prix. Oh, he's going to try and up our inside down into turn number 1, but we have the run around the outside, and we hold on to the position a little bit compromised into that right-hander. He thought about it up our inside, but he couldn't make that move work. Down the back straight we go on lap number 4, and as you can see, the gap between second and third is really starting to stretch out a little bit, but Mino is trying up our inside down into the final corner. We did get out onto the curbing a little bit, and that cost us a little bit of speed at the end of the straight as I was too busy looking behind us, and that has cost us as Mino has made that move stick as we now start the 5th lap of this Grand Prix, and we need to put our heads down and try to catch back up to Mino. But mistakes like that are definitely not going to help us, and we picked up a 2/10 penalty for that. Are you kidding me? Look how much time we lost to Mino by running wide, and we pick up a penalty for that. That is a bit frustrating, and I don't think I do deserve that penalty. I ran wide and lost time, for God's sake. Here we go through this left-hander, and we head onto the back straight yet again in this Grand Prix. We're right on the back of Mino on his Sky VR46 bike. We're in his slipstream. We are gaining. We're going to pull to his inside, and we should make this move simply up the inside into the final corner onto the brakes. Don't run it a little bit too wide like we have in the past. And Mino gave us a little bit of a hit there, but that hasn't really affected us. Our line through that last little part of the corner really was not ideal, and here comes Mino. We're going to try to defend the inside line a little bit here as we head onto the brakes. We brake early enough to get the bike stopped this time, and we hold on to the lead. Oh, here comes Mino up our inside on the exit to that tricky chicane. We didn't have the best run through there, so we're going to try it around the outside, but that is not going to work. We just run ourselves out of road there, and we lose the lead of this race. And Canet is sitting in third place, and he is less than a second behind us. So if we keep tripping over each other like that, that could give them the chance to get back into this battle and make it a big battle pack for the lead of this race. As we're on lap 6 of 10, so we are beyond the halfway mark now as we head through this left-hander and onto the back straight, onto Slipstream Central to get in the tow from the VR46 bike directly in front of us of Mino, slowly gaining on him as we hit top gear, 6th gear. We are gaining on him, really gaining up his inside onto the brakes, force him a little bit wide, and we have the line, and we make that move stick back into the lead of the Grand Prix at the end of lap number 6. Oh, here he comes up the inside of turn 1. He thought about it. He stuck his nose up there, but he couldn't make that move stick. He just could not pull it off. He had enough speed around the outside of turn number 1 to hold on to the position for now, but another overtaking opportunity coming up here as we jump on the brakes a little bit hot through that first pump, but we still pull it back to the apex, thankfully. And looking back just looking at the mini-map, it looks like third place in that battle is slowly starting to catch back up. Here it comes up our inside as we head up to this left-hander, hard on the brakes. Can we try and go right around the outside? It does turn to the inside for this next corner. And we do know he switched back up our inside. A great move there by Mino, and he takes the lead of this Grand Prix. But after this left-hander, we are back onto the back straight. We're going to push our way up the inside there, running it a little bit wide. But we do pull that move off and back into the lead of this Aragon Grand Prix. And I can see that looks like Mia trying to make a move for third place in the background as we're about to start the third last lap of this Grand Prix. Oh, and here comes Mino up our inside, pushing his way up the inside of the final corner, and he now takes the lead of the race as we run it wide. We run it wide at the final corner as we start the third last lap. We're not going to be close enough to try it up the inside into the first corner. Actually, we go a little bit deep. I thought I broke early enough for that corner, but evidently not. Can we sneak up the inside of Mino? No, we can't, but now around the outside, that's not going to work. There isn't enough road to pull that move off. We stay right on the back of the VR46 bike. Can we try it up the inside into this tight left-hander? Yes, we can, late on the brakes, and we make that move stick. But he's going to try it up our inside into this right-hander. Yes, he is, and he retakes the lead. We just need to be patient. After these two corners, we are back onto that ever so long back straight. Can we try to push up the inside through the left-hander? Yes, we can. Just push him a little bit wide, and we retake the lead just like that. It looks like Buliga has now found his way onto the podium in third place, and they look like they're about a second back, so not quite close enough to get in this fight between me and Mino, but still so close that if we trip over each other a little bit, they will be in the fight. As now Mino pushes up our inside at the final corner, and he takes the lead of the Grand Prix as we're about to start the penultimate lap of this race. Oh no, we've taken Mino down! That same difficult chicane that has caught us out numerous times before has caught us out yet again as he sort of plummeted down the hill, trying to change direction on the bike, shifted our body weight around. We were on the brake, and we just picked up the rear tire and went in a little bit too deep, as now we've hit the back of Buliga, who has turned this into what would have been a three-way fight if Mino didn't fall off his bike. So unlucky there for Mino. That was 100% my fault there, just going in a little bit too deep. But now it looks like the fight is between me and Mino's teammate and our championship rival Buliga as we head down the back straight for the second last time in today's Grand Prix. We're in his slipstream. Is it going to be enough to make a move up the inside at the final corner? Yes, it is. We've got the run on Buliga up his inside as we jump onto the brakes, push him a little bit wide, and we should be able to make this move stick. As now around the final corner, we're going to start the final lap of this Grand Prix. Is Buliga going to come back at us down into turn number one? We're going to be early on the brakes, so the last few laps we have gone a little bit deep, and that gives Buliga the opportunity, and he takes it with both hands, and he retakes the lead of this Grand Prix. And I think I saw another proximity arrow just behind me, so possibly this could be turning into a bit of a pack battle in this final lap here in Aragon, as we're just going to stay right on the back of Buliga. Can we try it up the inside into this left-hander? Yes, we can. Throw it up the inside, get the bike stopped. A beautiful move there, textbook move, and back into the lead of the Grand Prix. We don't have that long left. We're almost halfway around the lap, a little bit deep into there. Not the best X's. Now we come down to the scene of last lap's tragedy. We get the bike into the first bit, and Buliga dives up our insides. Now we switch the weight over to go back to the left, and we go right around the outside, and we make that move stick, and we hold on to the lead for now. But I'm not sure the lead is where we necessarily want to be, because of course we have that long back straight coming up very, very shortly. And we also need to remember that we have that 2/10 penalty, and right now Buliga is 1.5 tenths behind me, so that would be close enough for him to take the lead of the to win the Grand Prix, I should say. Now Buliga pushes up our inside, and kind of that's what I wanted in some ways, because now we head through this left-hander. We are in second place off this left-hander. Like I was saying in qualifying, you don't necessarily want to lead off that corner on the final lap, and here's why. Look at the toe we get up the inside of Bulega. We get the move done before we get anywhere near the corner. We are now into the lead of the race with one corner to go. Hard on the brakes for the final corner. Careful on to run it in too deep. Keep the bike tight to the inside of the track because Bulega is right there on our rear wheel. He's going to be close enough, I think, to take the win from us. As up to the line we go, across the line. We take the win on track, but I'm not sure it's going to stay as a victory to our name. With that 2/10 penalty, which it does. Yes, it does. We do get the win. Even with that slight penalty, it was enough. We had a 3/10 advantage over Bulega, and we end up winning by just 1/10 there. So we do get yet another race victory here in Moto3 with Bulega in second and Mir in third, the last man on the podium. So the top three in this race are also the top three in the championship. So the gaps are just going to pull away or extend a little bit further than they were before today's race. Looking further down the order, we've got Jorge Martin in fourth, Mino in fifth. What? He was off his bike and he ended up only 2 seconds behind me. That is a bit ridiculous, I think. And then you got Nea Bastianini in 6th, Aaron Canet in 7th, Romano Finardi 8th, Livio Loy in 9th, and John McPhee rounding out the top 10. In the championship, like I said, we've extended our advantage even further, picking up 5 points on Bulega there, pulling the advantage now out to 62 points. We have 274 points to our name. Bulega only 212. Mir is still sitting in third place, 78 points off myself, and Mino is sitting in fourth. In the constructors' standings, KTM have a massive lead, 90-point advantage over Honda. And then you've got Mahindra and Peugeot still doing absolutely nothing. No points at all for either of the manufacturers. So for our efforts today, we get 15,500 reputation. We have another 4 races after this. So with a bit quick calculation in my head, that is another 60,000 reputation that we could earn if we win the next 4 races. And let's just proceed to see what our total is now up to as we go through a quick loading screen. I think it's going to be around 222,000 to be exact. Another 60 on top of that, it'll be around 280 or something, 280,000 reputation. I don't think that is going to be enough to get the ride we want. Because ideally, I want to be on one of these 2 bikes, either the Marc VDS bike or the Red Bull KTM bike for next season in Moto2. And we need 300,000. We might just fall 20,000 reputation short, unless there's a bonus at the end of the season. Because, you know, we are set to win the championship, so that might push us over. I'm not too sure. We'll have to see how it all plays out over the next 4 races. Next up, we head to Japan to the Twin Ring Motegi. So that is going to do it for today, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure to smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, make sure you do subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Fitcho, and I'll see you all next time.